Howdy, y'all. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this June 14th. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thank you again for joining me. God bless you all. Card the top right corner for the rest of the playlist, and please hit the like button, the subscribe button, that notification bell, so you stay caught up. All right, so pretty much right out of the gate, we see that Jesus' life is already causing ripples within the world. We see how Herod, upset that this usurper has been born and will claim his throne. Um, he tries to kill Jesus. Jesus flees to Egypt with his family, and so then Herod takes matters into his own hands and wipes out all the baby boys in Bethlehem. Just slaughters them. But he doesn't get what he wants. He dies. His son takes the throne. Jesus returns and is now living in Nazareth in the region of Galilee. So now we're going to go back over to Luke today, Luke chapter 2, and we're going to see a little bit of probably a question we've always wondered about Jesus. And what was Jesus like as a boy? It's hard to imagine because most of what we see as Jesus, he's fully grown. He's in his late 20s, early 30s. His ministry lasts for 3 years. He's a full grown adult. He's both God and man. But and we can reconcile that more as an adult, but as a child, what was that like? Was he just this kind of, big old know it all as a child? Was he always quoting scriptures as a boy? Or was he, what we think of as a typical child? Did he go through, the terrible twos, and did he have temper tantrums? Probably not, obviously. He's Jesus. He's the Son of God, okay? He was perfect, okay? Let's be real. He's perfect, right? So, these are kind of questions that we've all wondered about. Not really important to, understanding who Jesus is, but it's just, idle curiosity. Excuse me. So let's get just a little snippet of that, see what happens. Let's go to Luke chapter 2, pick it up in verse 41 today. Every year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. When Jesus was 12 years old, they went to the festival as usual. When the festival was over, they went home, but Jesus stayed in Jerusalem. His parents did not know about it. They traveled for a whole day, thinking that Jesus was with them in the group. They began looking for him among their family and close friends, but they did not find him. So they went back to Jerusalem to look for him there. After 3 days, they found him. Jesus was sitting in the temple area with the religious teachers, listening, asking them questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and wise answers. When his parents saw him, they wondered how this was possible. And his mother said, "Son, why did you do this to us? Your father and I were very worried about you. We have been looking for you." Jesus said to them, "Why did you have to look for me? You should have known that I must be where my Father's work is." But they did not understand the meaning of what he said to them. Jesus went with them to Nazareth and obeyed them. His mother was still thinking about all these things. As Jesus grew taller, he continued to grow in wisdom. God was pleased with him, and so were the people who knew him. So clearly, Jesus already has an innate understanding of the scriptures and of God, because he is God. So he spends his time in the temple with the religious leaders, the wise men, and he has really good, thoughtful conversation and questions. He answers their questions. He has his own questions. More like not necessarily he wants answers from them, but more like he wants them to try to think of the answers themselves. He asks them questions like, "Well, what do you think this means?" Kind of like that. Try to get their understanding and get the gears turning in their heads. But we also see that he is an obedient son. He knows where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be where his father's work is, and his father's work is obviously in the temple right now. But he's an obedient child, so when his parents say, "Hey, you need to come home with us," he's like, "All right, I'm coming home." And so he does. And so he's a good child, he's a good kid, but he's also very wise and thoughtful. And he obviously has a wisdom beyond his years, and that's, via the Holy Spirit within him. All right, so clearly he's the perfect child. We all wish our child was more like Jesus, don't we? But it is what it is. Well, anyway, that's all for today. We're going to pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.